There we go. There's volume.
Hey
And there's
everybody.
Danny. There we go. Look at Nerdbird messing up.
That's all right. You know what's funny is that means they missed our whole really awkward conversation.
They didn't. So awkward. Well, hi, Danny.
Hey there. Hey there, David, not Dave.
Yeah, David.
So wait, were you guys hearing one side of that conversation? Were you hearing just Nerdbird here, or were you?
No, no. I forgot to unmute both.
Mm,
Yeah, special.
cool, cool. All right, so that means we were both in our own world. But well, thanks for having me, man. I gotta say, so you don't know this, but you were one of the first uh, non-titled chess players that when we really decided, hey, we're going to commit to trying to grow a chess community on Twitch and all this stuff. You were one of the first non-titled players we courted you. We wanted you on our team. You were like you were a star before you knew you were a star. Oh, it's my 4 month anniversary on your channel. I'm going to share it.
Oh, nice. And nice.
Hey, there you go. Anyway, so yeah, we've been big fans of the Nerdbird, the Nerd Gang, the Bird Gang. What is
Bird
it
game.
anyway?
It's the Nerdbird flock.
The Nerdbird flock.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's cute. Yeah, I remember getting an email and I was like, I just literally just started this. So awesome. Well, I'm glad you guys
Yeah.
did it.
Weren't you were streaming on YouTube originally?
Yeah, I was doing a like 100 days of tactics, chess tactics challenge,
Yeah.
which then ended up getting just completely destroyed by my schedule because
Right.
schedules.
I've done so many of those things where I commit to like a video series idea or different things and it sounds really great and it still sounds great
Yeah,
and I'm still not doing it. So I hear you on that. But anyway, well, thanks for having me. Thanks for
yeah.
having an awesome show. I'm gonna tell those who've been watching some of the other streams that I've been on. We've done My Teacher Sam, we did
Mhm.
Mikey Slice, we've done the Couch, but this is probably gonna be the most educational. Like me and David prepared some stuff here, so I'm gonna already say that I came prepared for this. I actually did some homework and reviewed the games you sent me. So I think that for those who really want to learn chess today, this is probably going to be the most educational partner stream we've had in a while.
Awesome. Yeah, and that's what I'm going for is trying to get more educational and less play, more educational. So
Yeah, and that's awesome. And so I want to know more about it. So the games you and I are going over. So this is a tournament you play in regularly in your local community, right?
yep.
And you're ambitious and you've got goals set to make expert and then beyond, right? I mean, is your ultimate goal to make chess master or even, be a GM one day? What are your chess ambitions?
Yeah, so definitely expert is the short term or long term goal, as we all know with chess. And then eventually national master would be kind of my stretch. Anything past that, I think, would be probably pushing it, but definitely national master by the time I hopefully by the time I die.
Yeah, you and John Urschel. I gotta come after John. Give John a spanking for neglecting his channel for so long. He hasn't streamed in a while, so I hope he hears that I said I'm going to give him a spanking on someone else's show. That just sounds like awesome things to get around. So
Yeah, just don't give him a spanking on my show. That would be a little weird.
that would be awkward unless you're into that. I don't know, but
Mm.
you're. I love the way you named this show. I didn't even know that this is how you named our show together with chess and dad jokes. So
Yeah,
obviously we know that I'm like a walking awkward pun for dad jokes.
yeah,
Like you've got a few lame dad jokes yourself. You want to share any?
yeah. So why are fish easy to weigh, Danny?
Oh my god, I really wasn't prepared for this, and I have to drink this coffee before I answer. I don't know. Why are fish easy to weigh?
Because they have their own scales.
There you go. Right? This is just like silly stuff, and I don't know why we think that's funny because it's not. What would be silly, Lee? We shout out to everybody in the chat. By the way, I know it's a chess nerdbird show, but I'm getting better at reading chat all the time. So everybody in the chat, thanks for being here. You've got also a pretty loyal following. I see. Liam Shez is a mod for you. I
Yeah,
know that guy.
yeah.
Nice.
Oh,
Okay.
and we are on front page. Oh, I got my Wolfam here too. So we have a Wolfam members, which are a Twitch group of different people that support each other off of Twitch on Twitter and Discord. And so we have
Okay.
looks like we're starting to get some of those in here. through the front
Awesome.
page of Twitch.
Well, let's dive into the games. I just shared a link for everybody in the Twitch chat, and I'll do the same at the chess.com TV chat. Now, David is an aspiring chess expert, like he said, and he gave a couple games to me. One he won, one he lost. Maybe both games he could have lost, depending on some things that happened. Right? That's a fair criticism to say.
Yeah. I should have lost one of the games, yeah, for sure.
Right. And if anybody says that I'm being too hard today, again, like Nerdbird, you want to tell them you gave me permission to adopt you as my chess student today and be a critical coach and give you really that kind of feedback you want to get better at chess.
Absolutely.
All right, so that's what I want to hear then, so I can take the gloves off as if I had a filter to begin with. Anyway, the link I just sent everybody, if you click it, you can actually follow it directly on chess.com if you're into that, or just stick right here at the stream and follow us here. So the first game we're going through here, you were black.
Correct.
Right? And wait, no, you were white in this one.
Oh yeah, white. Sorry.
Yeah, you were white.
Yeah.
And this was the Najdorf, right? So we had D6,
Correct.
and so you play the Open Sicilian. By the way, congrats on that. That's the manly, not or womanly. That's the awesome chess playerly way to approach Sicilian.
Yeah.
Politically correct way to say that. And how long have you been playing the Open Sicilian?
From the beginning.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't play around.
Good. By the way, for those beginner chess players, you define the Open Sicilian as soon as white chooses to challenge black's control over the dark squares with the move d4. White is sacrificing the Nimzovich chess, 2 pawns versus 1 pawn in the center, but doing so for an open center, hence the Open Sicilian, and a more active development. So, all right, so we continue. Now, I went through the notes here. By the way, I love the notes. And I just want to say that everybody who's here, I went through David's games here. I went through these games. And the notes that you're putting in, the effort you're putting into your own self-game analysis is already going to take you to higher heights. So I don't want to be Nostra's chess damas here and say, but I think there's a very good chance you're going to make expert just based on the level of effort I see you putting into this analysis. Is that something you do for every game?
For the most part, yes. It's something I started doing like 2 years ago now, where I've just been going back through and really doing my own analysis. So, along with obviously the computer, just picking up on, further ideas, but I at least try to put in my, like, what I actually calculate over the board, and then I'll put notes in, like, this is what I saw, and then I'll put in, like, rest of this is like the computer lines that the computer helped me find.
Now, what is the process you do there? Because this show really is designed to not just be educational from the X's and O's of these games you played, but I want to give you the kind of advice you can apply, to the homework you're doing. And, there are patterns. We know there's pattern recognition in chess, but there are also patterns and good and bad habits you can establish in your studies. Yeah. And if you share that, you can recognize, this is a good habit building pattern of my studies, and this is a bad habit building pattern. So what is the process there? Do you turn on the computer right away or after you put your own time in?
Yeah, so the very first thing I do is I try to go over the game with my opponent immediately after the game to see kind of what their thought process was too, and kind of analyze some of the extra lines that I had looked at that didn't get played, and kind of get their feedback on it too. So obviously not everyone wants to go over a loss, so sometimes that's tougher to do when you win, but so that's the first step. The second step is just putting it into ChessBase and just going over just putting in all of my over the board thoughts and any post game analysis that we came up with.
Okay.
Along with actual putting in my thought process. From there, then I try to go back through the game and try to recalculate some different lines, or actually look up the opening and kind of see where we deviated at what point. Okay. And so that way I can learn one more move deeper in that opening without having to worry about memorization. Like I have a kid, I don't have time for this. And then I turn on the engine to find any further tactics that maybe I didn't find, or some better continuation. So
so you don't turn on the engine until the end of that whole process,
right?
Which is awesome.
Yeah,
and that's all I really wanted to hear. And it sounds like you've had some advice like this before, because the biggest part is the engine will immediately tell you what you did wrong, but not help you in your own efforts of self-analyzing and self-reflecting and correcting the mistakes you made on your own. You want to use them in a way of like the ultimate let God take a look and tell you, not just after the game, but after all the work you did, right? And then you can learn things not just about the moves you played, but the analysis you put in from the engine. So that's great.
Yep.
All right. So this is all good. Now here you said is when you started to run that theory, you played Bishop B3. Obviously, castles long is the more aggressive line here for white.
Okay.
Putting the kings on opposite sides of the board, you're already committed in many ways to what this game is going to become, right? White is going to try for a checkmate attack, and black is going to do what he has to do to react to that. Traditionally, you say that black is going to do his own race, but often in this line of the Najdorf, black is so far behind that you're going to see black try to change the structure in the center and try to lash out and create something different. So I don't really feel like Bishop B3 is a bad move, but castles long is the move that makes the most sense of that. And one of the ways that I wanted to say for you to remember that is castles long is the purposeful move for the line, because you already know for sure you're going to want the king as far away from the attack as possible. You already know for sure this rook is useful. You don't necessarily know for sure that you even need to develop this bishop, or that it might not go to c4. Yes, d3 has ideas of punching the e5 pawn through, but my general process of elimination here, even if you don't know the opening theory, is which move is the most useful and aggressive and the most purposeful for the kind of middle game you're going to get. Don't develop this piece just because you feel like you need to, when you may not actually want that bishop there later on.
Makes sense.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
So that's the reason that's actually a process of elimination, thought pattern, regardless of the X's and O's here. Yes, theory says that castles long is the best move, this move you want to play. But if you're going to get in games again, whether it's on move 10 or on move 20, where everybody runs out of theory, and you have to start to look at the purpose of the position and develop your pieces based on that in order of priority. And this bishop is kind of already developed here in some ways. And it's just not the most critical move to getting your attack going, so it probably shouldn't be developed that way.
Okay, that makes sense. Yep.
Okay. So you played Bishop D3, and now here was my favorite part. So you played Bishop H4, but this is where things first start to get dicey for you, and it's the first moment where there's a clear improvement here. You want to tell everybody what that was? You found it in your own analysis?
Yeah, just playing H4 right away was actually possible here.
Which is awesome, right? And this is not even an abnormal tactic, right? This sort of idea where you anchor in the bishop on G5 and call black's bluff. I mean, this is what you want, right? They take and you take, and you actually gave a line with rook E8 and then taking, but I actually think that I assume you didn't look at this with an engine, because I'm thinking this is just immediately better. I mean, I think this is just mate, actually. Even better.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Right? Just immediately grab the H file. So that bishop is completely poisoned, right? They can't take on G5. Rat poison. I watched Ratatouille last night, speaking of dad jokes, right? So Ratatouille, an underrated movie. You seen that one?
Ratatouille?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have seen that one, actually.
Okay, I feel like it's underrated after watching it again, honestly.
Right. It is a little bit, yeah. Yeah, it's better than Secret Life of Pets. I mean, Secret Life of Pets was just weird.
Yeah, but Kevin Hart was pretty good in that one.
Yeah, but just it started out great and then it got weird.
Yeah, it got a little weird. The hot dog trip scene where they go into ecstasy and they're seeing hot dogs.
Right.
That was, which I kind of liked. It was awesome.
Yeah.
You're gonna probably want to turn off your follow notification, because you might hold up, your stream is blowing up. Hold up, your celly's blowing up.
Yeah.
Your stream might blow up in the middle of this show. So.
That's true.
All right. So H4, and again, whenever you go over your games, you don't want to approach this as, H4 in this exact position in this exact timeline of this future is going to be good if I ever get this position again. This is early enough in the game where, you probably will get this line again, because other than Bishop D3 being replaced by castles, this type of position is a part of your opening repertoire, so you will get it again.
Right.
But you want to focus on the pattern of why did you dismiss this idea, right? You're a strong enough player where you're aware of these mating nets on the H file, and so this should always be something that you consider before you're quickly reacting to a move like H6 with the safety retreat, right? This is a move that should be on the top of your pattern recognition radar, regardless of the fact that it was the right move in this position.
Yeah, it was mainly most people play H6 before castling, and so at this point I think I was still just on. Oh, I thought I turned that off. I think I was still on autopilot
Yeah,
with my opening, and my opponent was lower rated, and so I just didn't even.
that's a phenomenal point,
Yeah.
and you probably should have added that to the notes there, because that's like a self-reflect. You didn't put this in the commentary. We should really share your PGN with your fans here. Some of the new chess players may not care, but I mean, honestly, you you know, you're doing a really good job with this analysis. And I don't know if you like blog on chess.com or do it. I mean, I think sharing that kind of stuff with the community is really interesting, even if I mean, it can almost be therapy to a degree. You know?
Right. Right. I gotta turn this off.
David makes a great point there where he's kind of like saying he's on autopilot, because this is true. I'll show you the line, everybody. One of the main ways that Black approaches this structure differently than what he did with castles is with this move h6 early. And here, if White backs up, Black often has this tactic with g5. And the idea is that after White takes it, this knight retreats, unleashing a pin to the bishop on h4. The e5 square has become a new home for the pony, where he's going to tempo the queen. And if White doesn't know what he's doing, Black will not only gain a tempo on the lady, but then regain the pawn. And Black is suddenly in a very, Black has controlled critical squares in the center here, the critical dark squares, and Black has really sort of put the kibosh on White's attack. So for anybody who's a Najdorf Sicilian player out there, or even just on the white side of the Sicilian, and you reach this sort of rouser structure, I call it, with F and E versus E and D, this tactic of H6 and G5 should, again, be a pattern that's on your radar, right? We talk about building pattern recognition, not just approaching it as, oh, in this exact line, that's a specific Najdorf tactic. This is something, you should keep in mind. So I assume you're aware of that H6, G5 idea, and then the knight maneuvers around.
Correct.
I told you this was going to be an educational stream, people. I think maybe I'm talking too much. Am I talking too much?
I don't think so.
No? Makes sense? Okay, cool. Let's move forward. All right. So anyway, so here we go with this line. It makes sense you were on autopilot, but now Black does the right thing, reacting and changing the center. And this is what I said earlier is what Black often has to do in these structures, everybody, because White has really jumped ahead of the attack. And might even play G4 on the next move, and just really you're all in. Black very often is looking to do something to strike in the center. I don't know that E5 is necessarily the best move here, but I'm not surprised that Black decided he needed to do this. You took, played knight F5, and here's where the game went a little bit off track for you after he had to take the knight here. So what was your thought process, regardless of the blunder? Explain to me your thought process, why you valued E takes F5 over Queen takes F5, and that might help for future understanding here.
Yeah, so I actually calculated this far on move 9 when he played H6, which is weird that I didn't calculate Queen H3 after H4. But anyway, nonetheless, so I decided to capture back with the E pawn because, first of all, I didn't want an isolated E pawn. Because going into an in-game, that's always been my struggle, is when I have isolated either D pawn or E pawn. Like, I always struggle in those in-games.
Got it.
Trying to keep that thing defended.
That's why you're thinking, not really happy about abandoning this pawn here.
Correct. Yeah. So I just felt like at that point I didn't want to trade, and then my king's still exposed. I didn't feel comfortable in that position, which is weird because we get into another position with my king exposed. Anyway.
Right.
And then also I wanted to keep like the pawn structure as I know it's already not symmetrical, but like he's got the pawn majority on the king side, whereas I've got a pawn majority on the queen side, and like I wanted to at least keep him with more of a quote unquote isolated pawn. I know it's not isolated, but in the sense that there's nothing in front of it in a way.
Meaning the E pawn.
Yeah, where it'd be kind of easier for me to attack with rooks.
So you weren't going for the sexy pawn grab, right?
No.
Remember, you got to be honest. You're on the therapist chair today.
Yeah.
If you're not honest with me, David.
No, right? Honestly, Danny, totally missed that hanging B pawn until you just mentioned that. I didn't even see that in my post-game analysis.
and it had nothing to do with your worry. What about the bishop? Were you thinking, this really doesn't make sense because my bishop is sort of eating granite here with the pawn on E4? Was that part of the
that was, I think, subconsciously part of it. It wasn't like an active thought of mine, but yeah, subconsciously, like, that just doesn't look good either. Like, if essentially I didn't want to tie my pieces down to defense, and honestly, looking at that, obviously I know my bishop is quote unquote defending that pawn, so yeah.
So this is the main moment I wanted to stop in this game, because where this game went from here, and the advantage that your opponent gained, even though we know you went on to win this due to blunders by him, this is really the critical moment. But it's also the sort of climax, if you will, of the way you've already been approaching this position from a wrong perspective. So here's the thing, like the one thing to consider is we don't ever want our biases about types of games we've lost, types of things we don't like, to affect our current evaluation. Like the moment we're doing that, we're allowing essentially ghosts. We're seeing ghosts. We're seeing things that aren't there, and allowing them to emotionally affect our perspective in the game.
Yep.
And I love that you said that you just don't like having isolated pawns. You've lost games with isolated pawns. Like your whole perspective around the pawn there is essentially, it's not living in the present moment, right? It's like when we let our baggage affect our current present time. Believe me, I suffer from PTSD too, okay?
Right.
But it's very important, because essentially what you're saying is you're avoiding a type of position. But Kramnik said it best when he said, you don't play for positions you like, you let the position play you.
Yep.
There is a best and worst approach based on the current structure, whether you like it or not. And you don't ever want previous experiences to affect your judgment in the now. And the fact that you did that, everything you just described about why you liked e takes f5, every single one of the things you said was about your own perspective, and actually had like no consideration of what the negative consequences might be. What the negative consequences might be, specifically the fact that e4 wins a piece for your opponent immediately, right?
Right, which,
And you're a strong enough player that if someone put this position in front of you in Tactics Trainer and said black to move, guess what you would find?
Yeah, e4. Yeah.
Right? And that's how we learn things about ourselves and our own biases and our own psychological issues, is because when we recognize, that's how I always trick my students. They're like, oh, well, everything I said was right about this if you just take away the fact that this move doesn't exist. And I'm like, well, here's the thing. Like, it does exist, right? And if I asked you to solve this position for black, like just gave you a random puzzle, there's no way you don't find it. So whenever we're missing tactics that are below our level of chess understanding, just so everyone knows, David is about almost 1,800 over the board chess. I know some people are like, wait, there's chess over the board, not just on Twitch? Then never mind. But David is a pretty strong chess player, right? So everything about your perspective was about your own preconceived viewpoint. And that's just a really good thing to recognize, because it helps you the next time you're making concrete decisions to get out of the past and into the present. So second thing is this. This move, as you said, kind of subconsciously based on the position of your bishop, is one mistake having to justify a previous one, right? What a funny thing to note, I just have to say this just because it's interesting to note. If you had played castles long, this whole line, even if you don't find h4, just doesn't exist for black, because this whole line is not an option if you actually have the most effective theory on the board. Yep. So that's just like a cool thing to note. Like, you know what? Next time I get this structure in the best way anyway, black probably doesn't have this option to change the game in this way. So that, that'll help. And the fact that, so what am I saying with that? I'm saying that bishop d3 was a mistake over castles long. Not only if you had castles long would e5 probably not be a tactic black could play for, but you also wouldn't be in this current situation where you're trying to justify the development of the bishop by giving it a little more breathing room, which again, all those things are like little mistakes lead to big mistakes. I always said as a coach, I'd be like, I'm not saying that you'll always get mugged in a dark alley at 2 a.m. in a bad neighborhood, but if you wander into a dark alley in a bad neighborhood at 2 a.m., you drastically increase your chances of something horrible happening to you.
Right. So
you made a blunder here because of the little mistakes you made. You had preconceived bias around positions you don't like, which has nothing to do with the present. Queen takes f5 is a great move. In e5, you immediately get to come back to castles long, and the f file belongs to you. I freaking love queen takes f5. Like, I love that move, right?
Right.
And yes, I don't like the bishop here, but it shouldn't have been there anyway, right? That's what I was saying. Well, you didn't like that. I mean, if they go here, I would just slowly make up for it. I would get castled. My next move, I would try to play bishop c4, to fix the mistake of this tempo I lost by playing bishop d3, and then I would get back to work. The other thing I could say that's a positive about the structure here is that if you maintain it, this square here remains as a permanent target for you, especially because this knight is already under fire. So I could in the present name a number of different things why this structure is actually favorable to you, but you have a perspective that was trying to justify previous bad experiences and previous bad moves in this exact game. And this is the main thing I wanted to impart on you, that those types of things will make you blunder when you're a strong enough player now as an 1800 player, and will allow you to walk blindly into what is clearly just a bad move.
Makes
Is my
sense.
rant over? Did I lose you a lot of viewers on that rant?
No, I think you got us more. Yeah. Oh, no, yeah. We lost
Yeah, we lost viewers. Like, who's this guy? Shut up.
Yeah.
But just because he was
Preconceived
the
notions.
first person, because he was the first person to say, like, why isn't Danny Rensch a GM? I'm going to gift Smurf Cano a sub to your channel. He's the first gift sub of the day.
Oh, awesome. Thanks, Danny.
Because I got to get that question out. You know, the first question comes, like, why isn't Danny going to try to be a GM? So there we go. Now that's out of the way. Sweep that back under the rug with the rest of my suppressed feelings and move on.
Nice.
All right, here we go. So you get what I'm saying, though? What are your thoughts on that? So I just kind of went on a rant, talked to you about why you made this blunder. Because here's the thing that I hate about the way people approach chess, David, if I can call you Dave. Just kidding. Not going to call you Dave. Can I call you Daryl?
What? No.
Not going to call you Daryl. Okay. So here's the thing I hate. When people approach it as they made this mistake in this game, okay, I won't do it next. You have to ask why. Why did you make that mistake? And so, yes, I just went on this whole tangent and kind of told you why I think, you know, as the psychologist, why I think you made this mistake.
Yep.
But that's what will help you prevent it so that you don't, you know, close your eyes and hold on next time, right? Because there's a lot of clear things. Your king is still in the center. You just opened up the only direct file that's facing your fearless leader. And you have a loose piece over here that just screams tactical potential.
Correct.
Right?
Yep.
So that's why we went on this tangent, is you have to ask the whys, and that'll help you next time to avoid it.
Awesome.
Blade Woods just asked the question purposely to try to get himself a sub. That's hilarious.
Nice.
All right, so you played e takes f5, which is really just a blunder. E takes f5 is a bad move because of e4, but all the other reasons we named that I think queen takes f5 is a better positional move, honestly. It maintains what I see as a favorable structure for you. It maintains d5 as a target. It keeps the f file open. So all of a sudden, it's like you see this from like a new set of shoes, and you're like, like, holy crap, this is like all my own bias, and I've learned a lot about this structure. Hopefully that'll help next time. So you took, and everybody, here comes the tactic. For those of you who haven't seen what's coming, it's e4. Immediately after e4 and takes, Black is winning a piece because the threat on the bishop here is it's an intermezzo or whatever you want to call it. It has to be dealt with because the bishop is hanging with check before White can just gobble back the knight. Because of that means David has to go into a line that brings pressure to the e file, which means that this pony becomes poisoned. In any line you want to, however you want to shape it, Black is at the end of this variation going to be winning a piece because it's pinned. Let's bust out that rook pin emote. Is it emote or emote?
I'm from the South, so everything's probably wrong, but I go with emote.
Emote. You're from the South. What part of the South are you from?
Right here in Charlotte, in North Carolina.
I knew you had a sexy accent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But everyone's
Charlotte isn't really like the deep South like that.
No, definitely not. But yeah, where I'm from, people are like, "You're not from here."
Really?
Yeah, because there's a place around here that's called Cherryville. Well, if you're from here, it's called Cherryville. Okay.
Cherryville.
So
yeah, Cherryville.
You know, it's So I always call it Cherryville because it's it's Cherryville.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, you're not from here."
Yeah, exactly. You got to be very careful about pronouncing things correctly in the South. You know,
right.
You get outed very quickly, right?
Right.
All right, so that's how Nerdbird blended a piece here, and again, we're gonna see that you guys are already now even more on the edge of your seat because he came back and won this game. Yeah. But really, you know, this game was essentially over here. I mean, Black won a piece, and with best play, things should have just gotten worse, right? In fact, they should have gotten worse immediately with Black's tactic here that he missed. Right? What was that? You remember?
Yeah, Queen G5.
Yeah. So Queen G5. Sorry, I'm gifting Blade Woods a sub, just because I just know he's just sitting there waiting and wondering. Wants access to those Nerdbird emotes. Yeah, so queen g5, everybody wins even more material. And the truth is, we could now sort of shift our perspective that we've given you, all the critical feedback you ever thought you'd get. Now, Black immediately goes into maybe he just missed this, but Black at some point had a couple moves here where I was thinking of Black was trying to play warm and cozy chess. Sometimes people try to win winning games by just, I don't want to do anything risky. I just want to win this game, right? And in the process, they give their opponent more chances to come back in.
Yep.
You just have to be efficient and play mistake-free chess. Part of playing mistake-free chess is not missing your own opportunities to increase your advantage. That's why I always like to use the. Are you a chess coach too? We know you're a dad, but do you coach anybody?
Not really, no. Just myself. And my viewers sometimes, but usually they're coaching me. So,
thank you, Couchy42, for that comment. He said he has a feeling 90% of local chess games in the area of an 1800 rated player are ruled by thought process mistakes like that. I'm kind of summarizing, paraphrasing, and I think he's right. And I think that probably why we try to talk about this, and that's why David, who's an ambitious chess player and is working his way up, I think wants to be kind of shown those things, and I think. So here, as a coach, I'll say this. So you're not a chess coach. You're just a dad.
Yeah.
That's awesome. It's not a bad thing.
No.
The phrase I use as a coach, people teach kids as soon as they're up material to trade. Because when you're winning, most of the time, any sort of simplification of the position just gets you closer to victory, even with small compromises here and there on the specific trade.
Right.
But, as you get better, that affects your subconscious that you're still trading pieces often when that may not be the fastest road to a victory. So I always use the phrase, not simplify, but keep it simple.
Right.
And sometimes I added keep it simple, stupid, when I was in my Forrest Gump phase.
Yeah.
So keep it simple implies that your job as a person who's winning is to focus on eliminating your opponent's threats and finding the simplest path to victory. Simple can sometimes be the fact that there's an opportunity to go up by a whole rook and go to Forktown. I mean, that might be the simplest thing to do rather than just looking to trade. But this guy goes into, I'm just immediately going to make other moves that are warm and cozy. And I think you took the opportunities that were given to you from here. After rook e1, he gets a trade. So I understand there's no way Black is still not winning. I'm not saying that. But he already missed a chance to increase the advantage by some, and now really goes out of his way to give you a huge amount of chances on the G file here. I mean, that's like literally the chess gods, like karma just comes back to get you. When you take a pawn on G2, opening up a file to your king, and you're already up a piece, like you deserve to lose this game. Right? I mean, there's no way he should ever take this pawn. He should just play knight here.
Yeah, knight c6, yeah.
And developing your pieces, taking care of what weaknesses may remain in your position, falls under this keep it simple, kind of mindset. Just play knight there and bring the rook over and do something simple now that you've already missed your chance to increase your advantage.
Right.
Here he goes, I mean, and you immediately go to the G file. Now, when did this game really become like just winning for you all of a sudden?
After G, and a few more, like his next move.
After G5,
right? Yeah, that's just winning, yeah. If he played, because over the board I looked at queen f6.
Yeah, but you still have rook d6.
Rook d6, queen g5, and then queen f2 and queen h5. Yeah. I mean, it's still winning, but he could at least... Like if I want to draw, I can draw, but the computer thinks it's winning. But I'm not a computer, so I'm not gonna. Which is why I don't really rely on computers, because over the board I don't have a computer, so like I've got to go by like what I would actually pick, right? So.
Well, one thing that can do if you have the discipline. Here's the problem: is once people see that answer hanging, you've got Komodo running in the background, and it's telling you what's going on, right? Once you see that it's like the sin, the sin of the fruit. Like once you see it, it's hard not to look. But if you can force yourself to do this, if you see an evaluation, okay, that tells you you're winning, but you haven't seen the lines yet, look away.
Yeah, that's what I try to do. Yeah,
and turn it off, and then see if you can figure out why. Because now the fact that you told me that, and I don't have a computer in front of me, I do that myself because I love the challenge. I'm like, all right, what is it? And I think a subtle move that's just maybe winning here is actually h4. You take away the G5 square, and how does he stop the move Queen G3 next move? I wonder if that's the line. I don't know, but I'm wondering, because I look at this, you're still down a piece, and I didn't see any concrete mates, so I'm like, you don't want to play F6. Now he can play G5, and you're actually,
Right.
I think, or even G6, and you're sort of losing your attack. But I wonder if this move H4 is a move that makes Queen G3 really hard to stop.
Yeah, that could be it. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't look at the line. I just saw that it said, yeah, I was still like plus something, and I was like, okay. But I hadn't found it yet, so.
All right, so you came back, and what was this guy rated? So you're 1764. This is in your local
like,
chess club. What is
yeah, he's like 15, a little over 1500, like 1502,
Okay.
1505. So yeah.
So maybe he got little nerves, right? He's
Yeah.
going to be a higher rated player, and he, I mean, you're kind of a celebrity in your local town. I mean, you're the bird.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, every time I walk in, they do them.
Every time you walk in, right? Do doves like fly from under your coat?
It's funny you say that because I am a magician too. So.
Are you seriously?
Yes.
And then you do this like whenever the birds are flying. You should do that. You should do that. Although being a magician these days in chess, like you got to be careful. Don't pull anything out of your sleeve, like
Right, like a wire. Yeah.
Anyway, all right. Well, this is you punished your opponent. It's very straightforward, honestly, and I'm not trying to take away or say hey, it was pretty easy that you came back, but I mean he kind of this is literally a double question mark move, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean he gives you exactly what you needed to get back in the game after the piece blunder, and you get the credit. You punished him, and who knows, maybe even if he finds Queen F6, you find after Queen G3, maybe you find this whole idea of the computer. Maybe you find Rook D6 and Queen F2 and H4, right?
Right.
I like to think I would find good moves from time to time.
Yeah.
So anyway, this is good. Rook D6. He should have played Queen C7 to at least try to get the queens traded before he just gave up.
Yeah, I thought that was his best defense too, so.
But I'm sure any move is winning here, right? I mean, can we just play H4 or something?
Yeah.
No, but then he has Rook D8. Oh, wait. No, Queen C7, you just move the rook with discovered check.
Right.
And gobble.
Yeah.
Okay. So then you took. I admit that once I kind of got through that moment with E4 and really had the lessons I wanted to highlight for you there, I kind of played through quickly and saw how you crushed him. So I didn't spend a lot of time here seeing if he had better defense, but it doesn't look like he does. You pretty much just roll him and deliver the mate.
Yep.
Shake and bake on E6, man.
Yeah, I try. Yeah, once the king gets weak, I've studied enough attacking chess.
Is that your thing? That's your mojo?
Oh
right?
yeah. If somebody doesn't castle and like immediately, like if it's like move 12 and they haven't castled, I'm like I'm gonna destroy this person.
Dangerous one, right? Yeah, no, you're like that's exactly what you want. Okay, well good game. For a game especially that's over the board, you didn't lose your cool when you've lost a piece.
Mm-hmm.
People come back when they're down a piece online all the time, but I think you got some help here. But if we're gonna provide a summary here, lessons here, don't ever play against our own ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
It's very difficult to do, and I am like more guilty than anybody at allowing my previous experiences influence the present, so I can see it. And I know that I had a coach of mine just tell me like how just that it was like my number one problem at one point was that I was even mid game beating myself up for a previous mistake.
Yeah.
And it's just it's not the attitude you really want, and you don't ever want to evaluate things based on types of positions you just don't like to play, isolated pawns or not, or any. And yes, this case, Queen takes F5 was just much better, and this was a blunder. So regardless of the overall psychological lessons, we learned something there. And likely, if you get this line again, you'll improve even earlier with castles long, and continue to be on the road to victory. So Nerdbird, game 1 in the books. Let's do game 2. Ready?
All right. Yep. Let me switch over.
I'm going to share the link with chat. There you go, peeps, if you want to come to chess.com and join the party. The party here. Very nice. Okay. So, that's where the analysis is taking place here. Now, this is against Luke Harris, spelled L-U-K-E. So, how was Luke Skywalker spelled? Did we ever figure that out?
Ooh, I don't.
Is it L-U-K-E?
Yeah, that's how I think it is, but I'm not sure. I'm not the Star Wars guy.
Luke Skywalker. Yeah, it is L-U-K-E. Okay, confirmed. Very important piece of pop culture knowledge. So.
And did you know Star Wars they don't actually say Luke, I'm your father?
What do you mean?
It's part of the Mandela effect. Have you heard of the Mandela effect?
What's the Mandela effect? No, I don't know about this.
Oh my goodness. So Mandela effect is that like certain parts of branding or quotes in movies, like big popular
Right.
things, are like thought of differently throughout culture.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
different people hear things differently, or they thought it was one way and now it's something
Right,
else.
right, right.
Like the Berenstein Bears is spelt differently now than what most people thought it was.
Okay. Okay.
And same thing with like yeah, Luke, I'm your father, or the Matrix. Like, what if I told you? That meme with Morpheus.
Right,
What
right,
if I
right.
told you? He never said what if I told you in a movie,
Ah,
but
he just
we remember it that way.
yeah.
Well, some people do. So they think it's like an alternate universe, blah blah blah, time travelers. You know, it's real deep or shallow depending on what your thoughts
Depending
are.
on what you want, right? Real deep, real shallow, yeah. Yeah. Well, interesting. I'd never heard that actually, but it makes sense because. So, what does he actually say in the movie then?
No, I don't. I
Says
forget.
like,
He says I don't know. He just says like I am your father or I'm your father or something. But he doesn't say Luke, I'm your father. He just says
yeah,
I'm your father or something or
yeah,
I'm.
yeah. Okay, cool, interesting, yeah. Um, all right, so we have another Sicilian, but the fun thing about this game is you were playing the black pieces. So we'll flip a dooski, a rooski. We'll actually take a view at this from the black perspective if you want.
Yeah.
Flip the board on your stream if you want.
Yeah. Let's do this.
Um,
Wait, I was? No,
what?
no, I was white.
No.
Yeah, I was white. Yeah, I was white in this one.
Oh, you were white.
Yeah.
Okay, duh. Okay, my bad. Duh. Sorry.
Yeah, because Luki plays a dragon.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course we've seen Star Wars, not in Rock. Of course we have. That's not what we were saying, unless you're talking to somebody in chat. All right, so here we get another open Sicilian. Again, you're playing the most direct approach. I love it. G6. We have a dragon. Bishop E3, Bishop G7, F3. All good. No criticism. Good move order. Good understanding. Knight C6, and now you choose the main line. You go with Bishop C4. Have you ever played the 9 castles long variation?
I have, and I've ran into what's the move that they play? D5 here. They play D5, and then yeah, I can't remember. I think it's E5 is the. I think it's E5 is the push here.
Well, no.
Or you can take.
E5 would allow the knight to take. No, this is a whole complicated line, but we don't have to go into it. But it is the most principled move for black. I mean, it just makes sense, right? White puts the bishop on C4, which prevents D5.
Right.
If black castles long and doesn't prevent D5, I should probably play D5, open the center, and create more opportunities. I will say that I think with solid prep and with the right approach, this is still a line that's better for white theoretically, but it is a different type of dragon. It's a more positional game. It's one where white is playing in variations that are designed to simplify the structure because black has so many positional weaknesses now that you're willing to abandon the ideas on the king side, just the traditional Yugoslav attack where you sack mate, as Bobby Fischer would say, right?
Right.
So, and I understand that for a lot of players, that's like not their, that's not the sexiest approach, not your favorite thing to not go for those sharp lines. But I will say this: as you progress here and challenge more experienced dragon players, Bishop C4 in some ways is almost like the game I was just analyzing before, where I criticized Bishop E3 because you were developing a piece that doesn't directly improve what is your ultimate priority, which is to checkmate black on the H file, right? So there's a ton of I'm talking chess philosophy here, right? So Bishop C4 is certainly a move, but just by committing this move, you're guaranteeing yourself that you're also committing Bishop E3, which is a second tempo, like no matter what,
right?
Because the bishop is vulnerable there. And so it leads to the type of dragons where black is much more on an equal footing in terms of the race because of that lost time than he is in some of these castles long lines. But again, it's one trade-off for another, right? And I just wanted to make sure I asked you what your thought was. And and kind of challenge you there, because you did make some mistakes here in this Chinese dragon that suggested to me you don't know all the main lines of the bishop c4 Yugoslav as you probably should.
Right.
Is that fair to say?
That is definitely fair to say.
Okay. And that's something you need to invest time in, right? I know that Luke is a Luke. Who is Luke here? Who is Luke? I don't know who Luke is.
He's your father.
Yeah, he is.
No, he's a like a high schooler. He's studying with you probably know Dominique Myers.
Okay.
Through channels, so he's actually a student of Dominique Myers at the Charlotte Chess Center.
And he's and so what's his rating?
He's about 1800, almost 1900 now. So
okay, so he's right there.
Yep.
Okay. So as you face stronger players, so this guy obviously knew the Chinese dragon, which is bishop b7 and rook b8. And for those who wonder why is this the Chinese dragon versus any other move here, this specific variation has really only become popular in the last decade, or really been executed well, where black is, rather than the more traditional dragon games where black brings the rook to the already open file, this file here. Black chooses that black believes he has the time to create a new open file, which makes sense because I'll put it this way: the ultimate end game of the B file on this B spot here is much weaker than the ultimate end game of anything on the C file, which has much more protection. So if you want to ask why is this line, like what's the theory, what's the philosophy of this line, the line is based on the idea that black's king is weaker on the B file than it is on the C file. And all of black's approach in this Chinese dragon is designed to change the structure to expose that. So that would be my quick kind of summary. And it's also a line that only works against the bishop c4 Yugoslav. It's because black gains these tempos on these two moves that he has the time that he can sort of go out of his way to change the structure.
Okay.
So all right. So this is where it first got exposed that you didn't know the line. You play the move knight d5. Now, what do you know about this position? How often have you faced the Chinese dragon? And take us through the thought process of why you played knight d5 here.
Let's see here. I've only faced it against Luke. Like Luke and I are pretty equal as far as like I think he might have a +1 against me.
Okay.
And over the board, and he always plays this line. And I've played other moves against him, and they haven't worked out because he's prepared better. So I've always tried to I guess put him on the spot with his thinking, because he tries to be
theory against this guy that you need to get out of opening theory. That's your theory against him.
Right? Yeah, and when he's put on the spot for thinking, he doesn't do as well. Like he tries to get overly aggressive. Like I do know that, and so I try to. Yeah, that was pretty much it.
Okay.
So.
Eddie W13 says, "What if he told you the Mandela effect isn't real?" Right?
Wow.
Right. Wow.
Done.
Just really pushed the envelope.
Yeah.
Okay. So I will say, on a practical level, this is not like the other game. Believe it or not, I'm not just going to be a broken record and here and say you're still chasing ghosts. I do think you clearly have a history with this player, so you're trying to change that history, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is. And that can also be bad at times if you're letting again, if emotions get involved. Now, okay, we review the past to prepare for the future,
right?
And if we're reviewing our mistakes, if we're reviewing our childhood pain, if we're reviewing anything to make us better, like you talk about how your dad screwed up with you, so you could be a better dad yourself, right? I'm not saying your dad made any mistake.
Right. Yeah. I understand what you're saying.
We review the past to prepare for the future, and if we're doing it for any other reason, we're not living in reality, and it's not healthy. So I do believe that there's usefulness in understanding what your history is with a player and trying to change that history or learn from it at least. The thing is though, like, I'll just say this: if you're playing a sharp line, you don't want to avoid theory, because there's a reason why the most established force variations have been established by the best players of these variations. It's not like you're playing A3 and you're like immediately just like going out of your way to do something totally silly just because you don't want to play the same game again.
Right.
You're committed to a dragon, and it's a sharp variation for a reason, and there's a reason why the best moves have been played the way they have been. And so from that perspective, I would actually say the ultimate solution to you getting over the Luke hump, we'll call him the Luke hump. Tell him I called him the Luke hump. on the show. The ultimate solution getting over the Luke hump is allow it to be like, look, if Luke exposes your weakness and that you constantly feel out prepared, spend some time learning the variations and play into the sharpest lines and challenge him, right? Because knight d5 is a move that basically just loses the tempo, and it's not really the best way that white should play this. Now, I know he immediately blundered here. This is kind of funny because this is like the opposite of last game where you blundered out of the opening and won. Here, he immediately blunders, but you came back and lost this game, right?
All right. Yeah.
The sharpest variations in the Chinese Dragon are probably also just fine for white, and I think you should just dive down that road. If you want, I'll enter them in this PGN here so you can have them saved. So there's a couple ways, but I would say that this variation here with h5, it says my connection was lost. Can you still hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. After h5, knight c4, takes and takes, bishop h6. This variation is very sharp and probably just fine for white. Typically, black plays queen a5 here. Queen b6 is met by b3, and the attack kind of slows down. So they play queen a5. And then now you just have to understand that your best solution, the one that most people aren't aware of, is that after takes everything, play g4, and they play rook f7 to stop queen h6 and g5 and mate, is that you don't want to go all in. Okay, don't go full Yugoslav like Robert Downey Jr. said. # Tropic Thunder reference you didn't see coming. Okay, never go full H-file.
Hey, hold on, Danny. I think I lost connection to chess.com, so I'm trying to reconnect because I don't think I was seeing your moves there.
Oh no.
Oh. What's going on?
Uh-oh. Can you guys still see us? Can you see us? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Good. Okay, so they can see us. We can hear it.
So we can talk. Yeah, I think it's just chess. I won't say it. I won't say it. I won't jinx it, Danny.
Okay, it was just chess.com. But I'm waiting for you to rejoin the board before I go forward with the analysis.
All right. Yeah. It's still taking a while here.
All right. Danny, you're a tiny screen. I am a tiny, but as they say, it's not the size that counts.
It's your dad's sauce that counts, right?
It's your dad's sauce that counts. So for those of you who don't know the dad sauce thing, I promise you I was operating in a totally innocent world on this because my 2-year-old is an angel. I know you don't believe me.
No, I know. I'm a dad.
I wasn't like she goes, I want dad sauce. Because she wants A1 sauce on her eggs, and Dad puts A1 on his eggs, so she just wants dad sauce, right? And then Mikey Slice, the guy that doesn't have kids, takes it to the dirty realm.
That's right.
But anyway, I'm waiting for you to feel like we can go forward with the analysis. I'll just keep saying hi to the chat. Hey, everybody, ask questions in the chat. Don't leave the stream. Stay with us while we get this worked out. We all want dad sauce. It's absolutely true because it's A1.
That's right.
A1 is delicious. My approach -1 on Chess TV says, following what I did, I think I can make 1200 into 1900. I'm trying to follow your English here while you're following what you did. Master coaches are confusing, he says. Next year, I hope I can make 2100. Anyway, I'm not sure what you're saying, my approach, but I'm going to answer. I'm going to do what my teenagers do when you say, hey, buddy, do you want to go to Will's after school or do you want me to pick you up? Okay. That's his answer. Okay. Like, no, that wasn't a yes or no question. And you didn't even answer yes or no. That's how it is dealing with kids.
Pretty much, yeah.
So I don't know how to. Who will win this year's World Championship? Some Smurf Cano. Carlsen's the favorite, no doubt about it. Bobby is the American hope, first challenger since Bobby Fischer, right?
Yeah.
From the States, and I think if anybody can outplay Caruana from start to finish, I think with both colors, I think Fabiano has shown that he can do that over the last few years. He's got strong nerves, better nerves, but as I've said on the record, I think Caruana has his work cut out for him. Fabiano is definitely the underdog, and probably Karyakin did not do anybody a favor by almost beating Carlsen last year, because now Magnus is prepared. All right, looks like you're back on live chess.
It says if you say I am, it's yeah. Even Mikey Slice is asking about the server. So.
Oh, am I out too? No, I'm on the server. I think I just refreshed.
Oh
Yeah,
boy.
I'm still here.
Somebody asked me what my favorite chess piece is. My favorite chess piece is the one that delivers checkmate.
LOL.
Bam.
Am I going for GM? Not currently. Brain Training Chess app iOS. Is that? Did you make your username a plug for your Brain Training Chess app?
That's nice.
Subtle branding. I am not currently going for Grandmaster. I'm a Grandmaster in spirit. But no, I would love to, but right now that's just not in the cards for me. With life. A troll have come, says Danny Rensch, too weak for GM, living up to his username. Probably. There should be another Bullet Brawl soon. If Danny Rensch would get off of his proverbial bleep, right? There should be. Yeah, actually now I'm disconnected. Uh-oh. Let me go check on Slack. Let me see what the team is saying.
All right. I'm gonna roll with some dad jokes. You guys ready for some more dad jokes? I know you guys are. You guys haven't heard that many dad jokes on my channel. I usually don't do dad jokes, but here I am. So did you guys hear that Matthew McConaughey? You guys first of all know that Matthew McConaughey does commercials for the Lincoln.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Did you hear that he actually had to return his Lincoln?
Really?
Yeah.
Is this for real?
Yeah. It wouldn't turn left. All it would do is go all right, all right, all right.
Love it. All right, all right, all right. I do walk around the house sometimes going, bacon, cheese, cheesy burger, Carl's Jr. You know that song?
Yeah, I do. Yep. Nice.
Carl's Jr. with bacon and cheesy Western Jr. bacon burger. Carl's
That's
Jr.
funny.
Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, I actually watched the Wolf on Wall Street a couple weeks ago, and I had never seen it before. And that scene where he's in the restaurant and he's just beating his chest.
Yeah.
That was good. And that was actually unplanned. Did you know that?
I heard that a lot of things in that movie were like improv.
Yeah, the whole scene was not the whole scene, but yeah, him that moment. So
yeah, I'm pinging the team here. See what's going on. Something crashed. Doop. This is the first partner stream I've done where the server crashed though, so that means in a lot of ways you're the first.
Bam.
You're now my first.
I'm glad I broke that.
Doop. Sounding the alarms.
Did you guys hear that Steve Harvey got into a fight with his wife?
Yeah.
Yeah. They called it a family feud.
It's just you are just full of these. That's just great. Just keep them rolling.
And what's invisible and smells like carrots? Bunny farts. It wasn't domestic abuse dad jokes. That was you can get into an argument about stuff. You don't have to get physical.
Yeah, right.
Let's not get physical.
Here we go. Looks like people are on it.
Well, hello everyone. Electric's Meows, welcome to the stream. Boom, 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 boom.
They're diagnosing the issue, but now we go into developer world and speak where I am not getting answers. Let me try to play.
Mikey Slice, you are streaming my stream. Is that like I don't even know what that would be. That's like almost.
So he's streaming commentary to our stream.
That's awesome.
What's up, Jackie? The Suede? Is it Swede or Suede? I like to think of Suede as in like Patrick Swayze.
Mm-hmm.
Also put on my blue suede.
Yo.
Pantalones. But we still got a lot of people here. So this, and let's kind of summarize while we're waiting for things to figure out. So you know, we're gonna work. You're gonna work on not allowing the past to affect the present, right? In your
Correct.
calculation.
That's right. Well, first of all, yeah, I also need to work on my calculation and visualization skills. So,
Yeah, we got to do that. We're gonna play a blindfold game here in just a second, everybody. That was part of the plans, and it's gonna be the first ever hand and brain blindfold chess affair, which is awesome by itself, right?
yeah, we'll see.
I think so. I mean, I'm nervous about how this goes for you.
I'm super nervous too. Yeah, I tried to do it the other day, and it was. I mean, I did good. I didn't, do anything bad, but it's just it got a little messed up. So.
It is boring, Morton. We're sorry. The chess is paused right now, but we're just hanging out. But how's 1979 treating you? Is that after the Smashing Pumpkins song, or are you born in '79? Share with us, Morton. Share.
Yeah, Martin.
Mikey's life is literally streaming himself watching the screen. I love it.
Is that like when you work out, Mikey? Do you like? Are you that guy who like works out in front of a mirror so you can watch yourself as you work on yourself?
Let me do that. No, I hate that. Yeah, you look at the bros, like, right? The bro lift. You mean?
Yeah.
I have to go check out Mikey Slice's stream just because that's what they said.
It's like a Jim Gaffigan. He's like, you want to know what it's like to have 5 kids? He's like, imagine you're drowning, you're trying to save 4 other kids, and then someone else throws a kid in the ocean with you.
yeah. That's a great line because it's so true. Come on, I don't know, man. We might have lost our. We should just let's go do some tactics.
Yeah, let's do that.
It's live server specific right now, so let's keep the chess party rolling. Let's go do some tactics. We'll work on your visualization skills later. But here's how our plan for tactics was. We weren't sure we were going to get to tactics because, as you can see, we were still in the middle of the dragon lecture, and then we want to do blindfold. But I think we'll change it up and do some tactics.
Yep.
And we're going to do a similar thing that we all know Mikey Slice did. He's going, David is going to solve. I'm going to watch and then offer feedback and advice on patterns we see that are happening. So you can try to solve along with it, try to solve the tactics. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. So I just so everyone knows, I did reset my tactics trainer, so it'll probably be a little bit easier puzzles, but
you did.
Yeah.
Why'd you do that? Why do people reset their tactics trainer?
Yeah, so for me, I wanted to reset because I haven't done a lot of calculation skills lately. So I wanted to get back to basics, recognizing patterns, because as you saw, I missed some patterns in that first game that we went over with the mate threat on the H file. So that's the first thing, and I have the tournament coming up in a couple weeks that I'm doing here in Charlotte. So I want to make sure that I get squared away for that.
What's up, 64 Shades of Chess?
Yeah, so immediately looking at this position, the first move that I looked at was queen f8 check, just because it's a check, but obviously it loses the queen. Any queen takes the g pawn is not good, but the move that immediately popped out after that was knight takes d5, but that doesn't work because bishop takes d2 with check.
Okay.
And then he can take my knight, so that does no good. You're
still thinking, right? You haven't tried to solve yet.
Correct. Next move that was looking at is knight takes g6. It hits the rook. And then he's got to move the rook, and then I can take the pawn. And it looks like I'm going to end up winning that rook.
Yeah.
So that looks like I don't see anything else that's going on.
Okay.
So I think
that's Mr. Garrisoning you right now. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So
wait, no, that's not Mr. Garrison.
So yeah. So
who's the okay guy?
I don't know. I'm at work, like to my employees, I'm the Mr. Guy. Because when they say something and I don't really like what they said, but I don't want to like be rude to them, I go
Right.
Like that's my. I guess Mikey Slice did the hashtag found a filter. That's my filter for them, for my team. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Knight takes g6, and then win the rook.
Yeah, okay. Well, it's your tactic. I can't say yes or no till after you try.
Yep. There we go.
I'm here. Okay. Mr. Mackey, there we go. Thank you, A Troll Have Come. A Troll Have Come. You get a gifted sub for that. It's for helping me with my pop culture reference. Okay, so first of all, I want to say that you're doing the right thing in the sense that you're starting with the most powerful potential tempo moves, right? Checks, captures, and then working your way back toward less powerful obvious less tempo moves.
Right.
But I think that one thing you could do is, even move forward a little more aggressively. I'll add this to your first items on the agenda that you recognize list. So checks, captures, tempo moves. For little kids, sometimes you say queen attacks because all they focus on is, can I attack the lady?
Right.
So it's checks, captures, tempo moves. A tempo move, everybody, is any move that attacks a more powerful piece with a less valued piece. And the next one, but the one you should really be doing first is, like, the next level of that is actually just recognizing the vulnerable spots. So a lot of times all of that happens for a strong player along with the instant recognition of pieces that are undefended and weak color complexes, right? So if I was looking at this position immediately, I actually am focused 100% on the dark squares on the king side. If you back up to the beginning real quick,
Yep.
I'm focused 100% on the weak dark squares, G7, F6, H8, because the rook is undefended and those squares are weak before I really leave that area of the board. So that's kind of similar to the tactic of the H file, right? So I'm looking at those squares and considering all my access points, like, put it this way. You consider all of those big three, checks, captures, tempo moves, but within that very clearly weak area. So I know I'm sort of going back on things I've said for even more beginner players than you on air, where I've said always start with checks, captures, tempo moves. The truth is, like, a strong player immediately knows the area of the board that's weak. You put a position in front of them and they see the pattern. There's a weak color complex. There's an undefended piece. There's a knight trapped on the corner. There's an undeveloped, the pieces are underdeveloped, right? So really, that sort of recognition of the area of the board that needs your attention should really come first. And then you consider and stick with checks, captures, tempo moves within that weak area before you expand. Sometimes we know Tactics Trainer can be really tough. That's why we love it. It's a great tool, right?
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes you do all that work, I'm saying, and it's one of those really hard problems where it's like, I call them the engine problems, computer moves, where, like, the computer finds a move that a human isn't even looking at to start because humans are approaching it the way I described. And the move is like a random pawn push on the other side of the board, and, like, holy bejesus, the bishop is trapped, right? I mean, so those ones are going to be less common and are honestly, like, less relevant to this overall, like, building our muscles and improving our pattern recognition. So that's what I would say as I unnecessarily gesticulate every word that I say. I will say that. So there you go. That's all right, next tactic. Let's do it.
Right. Okay. Bum, 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 bum. Let's see here. So his king's still in the center, so that's my immediate thought here. What am I missing here? Two things guarding the knight. Kind of just play. I think rook e1 is just too slow. All right, the first line that just pops in my head just immediately is, oh, that doesn't work. Never mind. I was looking at knight takes e7, check, and then my follow-up move was queen takes e7, bishop takes d5, bishop takes d5, queen takes d5, and I get a pawn, but the knight can move backwards and capture knight c7, so that does not work. Okay.
So stay with the things you recognize. King weak in the center. Clearly, there's tactics on d5. You've already recognized the potential for a check. Call it the tempo move on c7, right?
Yeah.
So now it's about calculating as many of those lines.
Oh, nice. Okay. So yeah. So going back to the same thing. So if I remove the defender, so knight takes d5 or bishop takes d5. Sorry. Bishop takes d5. I can even play queen takes d5, queen takes d5, and then knight takes e7.
Okay.
And that would be with check, and then I'll win the queen on d5, or not win the queen, but get my queen back. And I'll be up a piece. I believe. Let me just recalculate that. So bishop takes, queen takes. So I have two pieces. He has one. So he takes my queen, knight takes e7, and then knight takes d5. And that is good. If I do bishop takes d5, queen takes d5, queen takes d5, bishop takes d5, that still works. And I don't see him having any intermediate moves that would cause me harm. So yeah, that's what I'm going with.
Okay, I'm just letting you steer the ship, baby girl.
Nice.
Yep.
There we go, and solved with queen takes d5.
All right. So, okay, great work, and you followed through clearly where the weaknesses were. So, you solved it. I think. I really didn't have a lot of other advice to say, but again, I think you can push yourself to just calculate these different options, different roads to arrive at the solution faster. So I think it is good that you're doing tactics like this because it helps the pattern recognition and how quickly you dive through. I'll put it this way: like we recognize the weakness. We see the first check with like knight takes c7, and like sometimes we get convinced of a move order. We don't ever want to like be our own worst enemy or put blinders on. You recognize where the weaknesses are, and then let the position speak to you, so to speak, right? Just like consider all the ways to deal with it, right?
Right.
Bishop takes, and then queen takes, or knight takes first, right? And roll through those options as quickly as you can. So, okay, very good, awesome. Let's keep going.
Cool. Next one. So I feel like there should be a mate somewhere on the A or B file here. Let's see here. What do I have? First move that pops out is A takes B6 with check. You would be pretty much forced to take back with the pawn. So C takes B6. Then I feel like I'm running out of something here. So A takes B6, C takes B6.
I'm just being quiet, trying not to distract you. Sometimes I distract people. It's something I'm working on, you know.
Oh, and then rook takes A6. Check. And if king goes back to B8, that's going to be checkmate with either queen or rook to A8. And then if king takes A6, then just rook A1 is checkmate. Hey, A1 sauce. Ah!
A1 sauce. That's what I'm talking about.
Nice.
Let's bring the dad sauce on A1. LOL. I love that.
There we go.
That should be the new way that we refer to A1 is the dad sauce square.
Yeah.
Dad sauce on A1. Very good. You delivered the goods. Okay, so again, this is very straightforward, but you did exactly what you should be doing. Rosberg2112 wants to ask if you're a beginner, because then he's a super beginner. No, David's a pretty good chess player. He's a nearly 1800, nearly an A player, and working toward expert. Yeah. So if you just
on the chessboard, not online. Online, yeah, I suck.
Yeah. If you just joined, we've been working through a lot of stuff, and our live server crashed, so we moved away from game analysis to tactics, but still having a blast. So make sure you follow the channel and come back for educational chess streams. But yeah, the dad sauce gets delivered on A1. And we move on. Very good. Yeah, I mean, again, it's just straightforward. Tacticos, the more you do these, the faster your patterns should get. How often do you do Tactics Trainer right now, and what is the way you approach solving tactics on Tactics Trainer?
Sure. So now that I'm getting back into my study routine, it's at least 30 minutes a day. And I think yesterday I ended up doing like almost 100 puzzles. I think I did like 96 yesterday in half an hour. But again, they were a little bit lower rated for me. But yeah, and then I just go for accuracy. So well, there's a couple different ways actually, Danny. So what I'm doing right now is the rated method. So this one is for accuracy. And so I focus on calculating lines. I really build that discipline of trying to see every possible move that my opponent could play to stop what I want to do. And because, right, like if we don't build those, basically like I'm military, right? So I train like a fight. And so if I don't do that while I'm training, like I'm not going to do that during a game.
Right.
And so I do that for the rated. And then the nice thing I like about chess.com Tactics Trainer is you can actually do the unrated method where you can choose your themes. And so I also focus on like picking specific themes if I notice in a game like I missed like some pins right in my first game. So I'll go in and I'll just do pins and I'll do like maximum rating 1200 and speed through those, just building that pattern recognition. And then I'll put it on harder with the same theme, just and then at that point going for more accuracy, but seeing tougher examples of that same theme.
Yep. Okay, so this is all good. I was curious. I'll let you try to solve this while I'm responding to what you said there. But I think, the one thing I would say is, right now, I do think you should continue to work through this idea where you sort of clear your rating and push yourself for accuracy to try to challenge yourself. Because I think that as you're solving tactics here, I can say that I think you need to improve your pattern recognition, not because you're doing bad, but I think that you're a strong enough player that you want to get to the point where a lot of these patterns are just like not an issue, right? And it just bounces off your brain, and you couldn't miss them if you wanted to, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think as you continue to do that, but the one thing I would say is you do eventually want to come back to not approaching it from a time investment perspective and more of a goal-oriented study method. I'm big on that, which is the difference in the mindset is you're not just going to work on it for a half an hour and, not really value how you did during that half an hour versus a previous day's half hour, right? It's just, people think I just got to put my time in. It's the base 10,000 hours theory. As long as I put my time in, things are going to go well for me. When really, I mean, there's such specific skills. It's very distinct in chess that you want to challenge yourself to be solving. You want to challenge yourself to be solving for accuracy and for goal-oriented stuff all the time. So if you get to what was your peak tactics trainer rating?
Over 2100.
Okay, so like you want to get to the point where you push yourself. Like I'm gonna spend as long as it takes until I can reach 2200 tactics trainer. Like you literally only do tactics trainer all day, every day until you achieve a goal. And what you'll find is like that sometimes that level of focus and the frustrations and experiences you feel when you make mistakes are very similar to over the board games, and that you really challenge yourself where there's only one correct thing that makes you happy in a chess game, which is that you win, right?
Right.
And it really pushes you, I think, to bring out a higher level of focus versus just sort of putting your time in. And then if you're struggling, you can go from there and figure out why you may not be able to reach this level, get advice from coaches, take a look at the positions you're consistently missing. Are they end games? Are they a certain type of tactic, forward pin, whatever? And that allows you to evaluate and pull that away. So you played queen takes e5, and then you stopped.
Well, it stopped, so yeah. It said solved. Yep.
Okay. So you got it wrong after queen takes e5?
No, it's solved. Yep, it's correct.
Yeah, I was going to say you solved. Queen takes e5, and now the board hasn't moved on. For some reason, I thought you were automatically moving on if you got it right. So, all right, cool. Let's move on. Electric's Meows, like, thanks for the support of Chess Nerdbird's channel here. He looks like he's a big fan.
I am, yeah. Yeah, I check out her stream quite a bit, so.
Oh, okay. I don't know Electric's Meows. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks for the support. I'll check out her stream. I didn't. I don't think I've ever seen that username. So, all right. Next problem. What are we doing here? We're rocking.
We are. All right. So, if I can somehow get a rook to h8, that would be awesome. I think I could just play rook of b8, and I don't see. I guess if rook b8 is f6, I can take on f6, but then the king can go to g8. that is too slow. Or
Too slow. Magnus would say, too weak, too slow. No, I'm kidding. That's how I feel about my life. You're doing great. Follow through. Don't give up on a forced line until you come to a conclusion. Like, so say the moves you're thinking of out loud.
Yeah, so rook b8. Just to deliver checkmate on h8. Really, the only way to stop that at that point is f6.
Okay.
Oh, I got it. All right. No, just kidding. All right, yeah. So rook h8, f6. Bishop takes f6. That still doesn't work. Because he can go king g8. No, he can't go king g8 because my rook's on b8. Ah. All right. Yeah, I think that's just it. Oh, no, then he can go g5.
G5, right? That's the key. He can also play G5 on move 1.
That
not to say you're
correct.
wrong. Excuse me. Not to say you're wrong about whether rook b8 is the move, but yeah, those are both options there.
This is all true things. All true things. And I could go. I can't go rook b7. Like I really want to be able to play rook takes h6 and win somehow that way, but I just don't see a. I don't see a win.
Me and you both, buddy.
I don't see a win after all that. Dang, this is. Why is this so difficult for me right now?
It's a tricky one. It's a tricky one.
That's what my daughter said. Everything is a little hard. She goes, it's a little tricky.
It's a little tricky. I like that.
She's good at problem solving. I put something up higher. So I have these virtual VR Google VR system for my phone, and she loves watching like these like documentary type things with dinosaurs and things where it's like realistic and she can like look around. And so I put it up higher, and she goes, "Oh, I can't reach that." But she's like, "But I can do problem solving and reach it."
I love that.
All right,
that's pretty funny, Jeremy.
Rook b8.
Yeah, it's like when you call tech support. You know, my internet's not working. Okay, is the modem on? Have you tried unplugging and plugging it back in again? There is actually a hilarious story that our CTO shared at the last Just.com meetup, the company he worked for a long time ago, about essentially a huge server crash that was happening for a company that he worked for before, that he eventually figured out was literally the janitor was going into the server room and unplugging things every night at the same time, around like 1 a.m. And it was, anyway, a hilarious story, but I don't think that's what's wrong with Just.com right now.
All right. I feel like rook b8 is the move. I just need to figure out what to do after a move like g5.
Go for it. Go for it.
All right, we're just gonna go for it. Rook b8. So we get f6.
Okay, and now your move again.
All right, we're just gonna take on f6. Now you're there. All right, I can go rook h8 and then king g6, and then I can bring in the other rook to check, but then he gets out. He's gonna get out.
Yep.
So I could play. No, I can't play that. I could just take the pawn with the bishop.
A pawn is a pawn. So, sorry, I don't know why I even said that. Okay. Doesn't make any sense. You know, I'm being like the guy. Like,
yeah,
I'm being like you around the office.
That's right. Yeah, I don't see how I'm checkmating, so that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna take a pawn. Oh, not right.
Yeah, not
Wonk,
quite.
wonk, wonk.
Okay.
All right, so let's go with my rook h8 because
Yeah.
yeah, that was it. That's solved. Good lord, one move.
So rook h8,
All right,
king
so
c6.
yeah, king g6, and then after, I guess I was just lost after like if I take do I take the pawn on h6 with the rook on one,
Rook
like,
on h1, yeah. And
and
there's
then
a mate.
check,
Yeah.
and then king comes out to
Well,
f5.
this is, yeah, I don't know that this is the best. This isn't my favorite puzzle that we have within the chess.com tactics trainer database because I don't know that this one is the most fulfilling in the end. We like them to be fulfilling. We like to feel satisfied, have a Snickers.
Right.
That
Yeah.
So this is a tough one. I think, one thing about this one that is true is that, you probably don't have a lot of other options. So sometimes you can play a move, and this is not bad advice. You can play a move based on the fact that it's clearly the only move.
Right.
And you don't want to be lazy or dismiss the need to push your own calculation, go as deeply as you can, see if you can solve it before you move.
Yeah.
But at a certain point, you're spending a lot of time, and there really isn't a lot of other. There were no other options to try to improve White's position. Right?
Right.
You're going to win all the pawns on the king side pretty much with tempo, and I think you should have gotten to this position here. Like rook h8, king g6. You should have tried to get yourself to this position a lot faster
Okay.
than you did, just because maybe the position isn't done then, and you still have some time on the clock to consider. One of the things about tactics trainers, it has the timer, so you're aware of kind of that you're losing your rating points. You're not losing rating points, but you're not being as rewarded as highly as you could be if you don't find it fast.
Right.
Right? Which is just like chess to a degree. I mean, there's there's playing the best move, and then there's your ability to manage the clock and be up on time and push yourself to calculate as quickly as possible. Those are all things that you need to do. So
Right.
I think you should push yourself a little faster if you clearly see there's only one option.
Okay.
People say, do you think the chess.com tactics rating has any correlation with actual chess rating? I mean, there's correlations everywhere. I can tell you that we see patterns, like somebody tends to be 200-300 points better in their tactics trainer rating than their actual over the board rating. And that actually applies in David's case, right? He's about 2,100, about almost 1,800 over the board. I mean, I've been able to maintain like 2,900 in tactics. I don't think I've ever crossed the 3,000 barrier. I have to see my own peak. What is my peak in tactics? To see my all-time stats, my tactics, my stats. My all-time highest is actually only 2,894, so I've actually never even crossed the 2,900 mark. So I think there's an inflation there of about 300-400 points from somebody who's about 2,500, rated. So that applies for me too. I think when you compartmentalize the game, and people are essentially tapped on the shoulder about anything and said, hey, in this specific position, there's something you need to find, everybody executes a little bit better.
Right.
Right. So I don't think that that's a bad thing. I think it would be bad if you saw, like someone who's 1,800 and is also 1,800 at tactics. Like that would be kind of shocking. Right.
Right.
And I don't think that I think that's a pretty rare case. But if that is you out there, I would say that you clearly have a very clear need of where you need to be working on your chess. Because likely you are making up for significant tactical and calculation weaknesses with your positional understanding and all that stuff. So, all right, well, now that the live server's back up and we've started transitioning into calculation talks anyway, David, let's move away from some of the tactics. Solve this last one, and then let's you and I go do this blindfold hand and brain game, the first ever of its kind, before the show's over.
All right, solved. Bishop takes g2.
And it's over.
Yep, that was it.
Yeah, I really want to work on adding some more value to the tactics trainer. It's just not an area I can focus on right now. We have we have more than 100,000 puzzles in the Tactics Trainer database. So no
Right.
one man or woman can manually review all them. We have a whole team, but
Right.
I do sometimes feel like there's some things I'd like to do like I don't like how that other one ended, Rook H8. I feel
Right.
like that was not satisfying enough. I feel like that was unfair to you, and it was partly why it was hard for you to follow through. So I'm being critical here of our tool.
Yeah.
And I feel like this one, like, why not play it out with queen takes g2, rook takes g2? Why not at least let you win the queen? I don't feel satisfied.
Right.
Am I just hungry? Am I just like that Snickers commercial where am I just acting like a prima donna? I don't know.
Yeah, because it is like in a way a material imbalance, right? Like you get like what gets the two rooks
Yeah,
for
I
the
just
queen,
don't feel
right?
as
So
satisfied as I want to feel. Like I want to feel like I really delivered some goods.
yeah.
So anyway, well, for those of you who want to come into the live server, we don't have a ton of time, David, but I think we can play a quick hand and brain, and let you be blindfolded.
Yeah.
Too bad you don't have one of these. I actually have one of these.
Oh yeah, you actually have a blindfold.
Well, not only a blindfold, we sponsored Timur Gareyev's the Blindfold King sponsored some of his events, and so we actually made these chess.com handkerchiefs, I guess. Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
And yeah.
Oh,
Throw it
nice.
on.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Daniel LaRusso style.
Nice.
Right? Anyway, but I can't be the blindfolded one because this is about your calculation.
Yeah, that's right.
You blindfold yourself. I'm going to accept a game, unrated. I'm going to be the hand in the sense that I'm moving the pieces, but I'm actually going to be the brain. I'm going to tell David the piece I want him to move, and he's going to try to visualize the position in his head and move that piece.
That's right.
So let's play Couch E4 too, because he's been in the stream the whole day. He's now a sub because I gifted him a sub, so he does have the sub thing. But it's got to be 5-5 unrated.
Oh, 5-5. All right. Yep. We're gonna try this.
All right, close your eyes.
Yeah. So my eyes are closed. I can't see anything.
Okay. We're white, David. Pawn.
All right. E4.
I love it. This is fun. Blindfolded hand and brain. If I could put a blindfold on and still move the mouse, I would.
Oh yeah, that'd be good.
Okay. He played pawn to E6.
D4.
That's right. I'm supposed to say the pawn.
Oh yeah, you're supposed to say pawn. Yep. Sorry.
So he played pawn to D5, and I'm gonna say knight.
Oh. Shoot. I don't know those lines.
You don't know those lines?
No.
Oh, darn it. That means this is going to be good. This is actually...
All right, knight C3. Knight C3.
Very good. This is good. We're actually challenging your calculation at a very early stage in the game. I like it. Okay, he played bishop B4, and I'm going to say pawn.
E5.
Look at you, learning theory. For those who don't know this, they can actually go into their board settings and choose the blindfold pieces if they want in the future and actually practice blindfold. I'm going to show them that, but we're not going to do that. Okay, so he played pawn to C5.
All right.
And I'm going to say pawn.
A3.
Look at you. You do know more lines than you say you do.
That's true. I know a little bit about the Frenchie. I just don't play this as white. That's all.
Okay, he played bishop takes C3. Pawn.
All right, B takes C3.
Yep. We got to play fast here. Okay, knight E7. And I'm going to say queen.
Queen G4.
Yeah, boys and girls. This is going to be a party game. Get ready.
Oh, boy. This is about to get tough.
Beers all around from Atomic Player. All right, he played queen to C7, and I'm going to say queen.
Queen takes G7.
This is it. This is probably the sharpest way to challenge your calculation. I love it. Keep those eyes closed.
They are.
You played rook G8, and I'm going to say queen.
Queen takes H7.
Very good. He played C takes D4, and I'm going to say knight.
Oh, where's my knight? Oh yeah. Knight. I just opened my eyes, but I was looking upward, so I didn't see the board. Knight to F3.
Oh no! Knight E2 is the only move to guard C3, bro.
Oh no. That's
all
right.
Well,
I forgot.
We're not going to resign because I'm going to try to see if we can come up with something nasty. But Knight E2 is the theory there. You have to know.
Yeah, I thought so.
Knight E2 guards C3, protects D4. So now Cauchy is Couchy's going into a think.
Yeah, he's probably like,
So
does Nerdbird know something?
Our first blindfold hand and brain experience is going to be a little. All right, queen takes c3 check. I'm going to say king.
So I have to go what, king e2.
Okay, you could have also gone king d1, which is probably what I would have done, but this is still okay.
Oh yeah, my queen's gone. Yeah.
Okay, no, we after they take the rook, I'm gonna say bishop. So start thinking about the bishop move you want to make after they play queen takes a1.
Okay.
Queen takes a1, bishop.
Taking either e3 or f4. Or are you not thinking about that bishop?
Well, I mean, I can't say against the rules.
Yep. Oh yeah, well, I can't move my other bishop, so.
E-Dog, I beat Hammer. I beat Hammer at blindfold bullet. Okay, you've seen that video, right? Hammer and I used to do blindfold battles.
Yeah, bishop. Let's do. Yeah, bishop. Oh shoot. Let's just go e3.
Okay, that's less than ideal on that square because they can just take your bishop with the pawn, which is what's happening next.
Oh god, there's a pawn on d4.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So we'll talk about how we can improve this. This is good. It's good that this first experience is rough, because even if it had a blunder, it still just immediately helps you to see areas that you're missing. So Couchy just played d takes e3. I think it's fair to say we should resign.
Yeah, that's good enough.
So I'm gonna resign.
Yeah,
People are always gonna find games like this funny when they go into my game history and see like, wow, Danny Rensch played like crap that game. Wow,
that's true. Oh my goodness,
idiot, Danny Rensch. So one thing you should do constantly as you're trying to develop this calculation skill is every single move in your head, you should go through the game in your head again. Okay. So e4, we said e4, e6, right? Like as soon as I said pawn d4, d5, like while you're sitting there waiting for me to tell you the moves, you should constantly be going, like visualizing e4, e6, d4, d5. And the process of going over the lines over and over again will make the position more clear in your visualization center, right? I mean, because how are we actually visualizing it? That's weird how the brain works, right? They say the brain is literally experiencing things in ways like they do all that stuff with athletes, where they have them imagine winning the race, right?
Right.
And the brain is so powerful, like the visual experience, whatever you want to call it, helps you to create that in your mind's eye. And so and I'll do that in my games, David. Like if I'm actually calculating a deep line and I'm like going there, and if I feel like it's become cloudy at all, I just reset and do the line from start to finish again. Just that process makes it much more clear. It's just literally the muscle has to be built. You have to build it. You have to work it out.
Right.
So you played the line great, and you actually clearly knew the theory up until here. But given that this is such a sharp line of the French, it really would have been, again, advisable to do that workout process right here. Like go through the whole line again. Make sure you're seeing the position clearly. Right. So when I said knight and you're focused on just kind of development, you're sort of taking for granted how sharp the position is here. That after c takes d4. Black is just threatening to win a rook. And why do we know this is a good sign that we need to work on our visualization? Because if I put this position in front of you on move 9, where you played knight f3, like you would never play knight f3 in a real game.
Right.
You wouldn't do it whether you knew the French or not. If you want to back up to that so the fans can see it, right?
Yeah.
You would never play knight f3. Like no, you just wouldn't do it, right? So that says it's a 100% visualization issue, and 100% you need to focus on building your calculation skills. So have you watched my videos on this?
I have, actually.
Okay, so you've seen kind of the chess visualization, Nirvana stuff, the crazy videos I did.
Yep.
Okay. And you've done those exercises, the things I've recommended,
I
or
will
you
say
just
that
jump
I have.
right to blindfold? What?
No, I have worked on them in the past. Like I definitely have. Not to the full extent that you put in your videos, but I
Yeah.
definitely did do a lot of the tips
Okay.
that you did.
Well, I think you don't want to walk before you crawl, right? And even if you have the tools in front of you, you know how to play blindfold games. We just did a hand and brain blitz game. I mean, but literally you just jumped from like the basics of still like mastering visualization to
Yep.
doing something that is like really, really hard, right? I
Right.
mean, E-Dog was talking about Hammer playing blindfold bullet, and I was, just had to say that I did beat Hammer bullet, but that's not what I was trying to focus on, E-Dog. No, Hammer's amazing,
Yeah.
and it is really challenging. And and it's something you could do right now. Even if you want to play other members, you can choose to have the blindfold pieces on or whatever, right? I mean, at a
Hmm.
certain point, you just have to work on the basics there, so that you can take on challenges like this and expect better results. But
Right.
as I told you, unfortunately, we're gonna have to bring my. I started getting pulled up. My celly's blowing up. The wifey's like, "Oh, your third graders graduating to the fourth grade. Let's celebrate mediocrity. Come to the school." You know,
Yeah.
it's like, how many different graduations are there?
Yeah. For you, like 9 more, right?
Exactly. No,
At
not
least.
that many, buddy. We're done. I'm capped. I am not. We are not having any more kids. But it's like, hey, like, come to every graduation possible. And anyway,
Yep. Yep.
um,
Well, I definitely appreciate you coming on, Danny. So I do appreciate that. Thanks for joining the stream and providing some insight. So
yeah, that is not true, KBK Ham. I was not watching Hammer stream. I just heard that he was playing blindfold. What's up, Perfection X? I'm not in the Diamond membership donating place today, but you should donate a Diamond membership before the show's over. I think Couchy42 deserves one.
I believe so. If
Hey,
you
I'll give Couchy one for me. That doesn't have to come from you. You can give somebody else one.
All right, let's see here.
I'm giving Couchy a monthly Diamond membership. Root about new. We'll do it for a little more than a month there, Couchy. Just because you beat us so badly at blindfold. You're welcome. All right, man. Well, I appreciate it. I know you're going to continue to hang and stream to the fans here for a little while.
Yes.
I got to bounce, seriously. Got to be at the thing starts at 3, and I need to get going. So,
Yep.
West Coast. Well, enjoy Charlotte, East Coast, right? North Carolina. Come on and raise up.
Yeah, that's right. All the humidity and allergies, come on over. We're having a great time.
Love it. All right. Well, thanks for having me, man. Thanks to everybody, and I'll see everybody later. Peace.
All right. See you, Danny. Cool. All right, what's going on, guys? So thanks everyone for hanging out. Hope you guys had a fun stream. I think we're gonna go for a little bit longer, because just like Danny, I've got kids as well, so I probably have like 20 minutes with you guys. So yeah, I'll take viewer challenges. So let's do this viewer challenges on chess.com if you guys want to play. I have a way that you can do it in the Twitch chat. You can do the command play, exclamation point, and then the word play, and you can send me a challenge. I would take anything 5 minutes or faster. And the king says, I won't do 5-5, but 5 minutes. Plain 5 minutes is fine. All right, we're going to go with a 3 minute. Cancel out this one. There we go. All right. So we're going with the Sicilian. So we'll see if we learn anything from Danny's stream and his advice on how to play these lines. Okay. So we're going a little bit different setup here. We're going to get this rook off of any potential discoveries. I'll be able to play g4 Yeah, I think we're going to go with g4. It does weaken this h pawn after he takes, though. If I push, he's going to take and hit my queen first. So that is probably not the best answer. All right, so we're going to back this up. Boom. Oh, okay, you just challenged for the blindfold. Yeah. Oh, that was fun. All right, let's just push this knight away. And then we'll bring our knight here, just to guard this pawn when I push f4. So it's going to be the point. All right, b3 is coming at some point. I probably want to move my king over as well. All right, so he's attacking that twice. So let's just go ahead and defend that. Of course, this is getting really complicated, guys. Really, really complicated. Hope you guys enjoyed today's stream. I definitely appreciate it. Everyone coming out, all the follows, all the bits, everyone supporting. I definitely appreciate it. I know we weren't saying my thanks a lot on that. We had a lot going on, but I do appreciate everyone's contribution today to the stream. So thank you so much for everything. All right, so the queen is trying to come into here. Yeah, I think king b1 is pretty much my only move. Of course, now he even has this idea at some point. This is about to get really bad somewhere for somebody. Thanks, Electrics Meows. And thanks for coming by. Thanks for hanging out. You as well. All right, if I play b3, you can go queen a3, and then I could throw my knight here. The only problem is that knight is currently hanging. And I have like no time left. Oh, and now I can't go knight b3 actually after queen a3 because I get checkmated. So that was not a good idea at all. Yeah, not good at all. So let's do this. Let's try to get rid of this bishop. Somehow. Just meows with the nerd bird. If you guys want that nerd bird emote, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and we'll have more fun very soon. Now, okay, threatening mate pretty quickly. Or not mate exactly. We just have, oh no, missed that. His knight was guarding. Good game. Mewtwo, thanks for playing. All right, who else do we have? Stealth Knight. We're just gonna go in order. Down the list. Down the list. Another Sicilian. You guys are testing how quickly I apply knowledge, I see. We're going a6 to e6, f4, bishop e7, then we go queen f3. Oh, he goes knight b d7. I don't think I've seen that before. I think I can still do my same line. Blunders 1 or 2 with a dad joke. It's Scholar's Mate. That's funny. All right, now we're going to castle. We're applying knowledge. Applying some knowledge. Boom. Okay. Do I have moves like this? If I go e5, let's say he were to move this knight, I could take, queen would take, and this is pinned. But what I think I'll do is I'll play g4 with the idea of playing bishop g2, potentially eyeing down that. I think although bishop e2 is probably typically the line. And yeah, that does allow his queen, his bishop to get in there. So probably that was not the move. So g4 is probably not the move that we should have played in this line. So I'll have to look up and see how I should have played that, because g4 just does not look good. But I think even he could take here now. I can take back. Yeah, okay. I think I'm okay here, but I do think shellfish. There you go. And what do you call an eye? What do you call an eye? What do you call a fish without an eye? Boom. Yeah, he's just gonna kick this away. That is very true. That is how you do it. I can't even take here because he can just retake and keep the pressure on this pawn. This was not the correct way to play this, obviously. So yeah, not the right way to play it. Okay, I'm just gonna go here, keep guarding this bishop, but he's already got a pawn. I mean, I'm not down a piece, but take there. Okay. And then we're just going to bring our rooks to the center. I could have just played knight c6. That would have helped. Okay, so that pawn would be hanging. Whew. Yeah, I think I missed my opportunity with knight c6. Okay, we're just going back up here. What elo is considered good? I mean, it depends on where you're at, right? So like when I was 1200, I thought 1600 was good. 17, 1800, I think 2000, 2100 is good. So, you know, I think it's respectively. Can I play here now? It's this queen, it's this pawn. And then I can still guard my knight if I need to. Right, and we'll come to this square because we also guard. Now we're ganging up on this pawn. And we're still guarding this. Although now he does have knight takes. He does have knight takes because my queen is overworked. So that probably was not the best way. Not the best way to handle this. Here's what we're going to do though. We're going to take this. Yeah, people were saying F5. Yeah, that was probably definitely the way to play. Alright. Now probably F5 is too late. I guess my problem was when he pushed his pass, like if he plays E5. Yeah, E5 just looked like not the right move, but of course that doesn't look nice either. I think he's gonna play Queen A5, threatening to come down here because he's gonna pick up this pawn. So I think I need to be able to play here. I think he also has some ideas. This is actually how I end up losing one. I end up losing a game in this similar structure here, but as Danny said, we focus on the position in front of us, not on our past ghosts showing up on a board. Okay. So this was kind of what we were afraid of. I mean, this pawn's hanging anyway, so it's not like I just hung that pawn. I think this might work. This may or may not work. Yeah, this does work. Look at this, nerdy birds. This is checkmate in 2. Whoo! Look at this. Bam! That's how we do it. Whew! Alright, I held on in that one somehow. Good game. Thanks for playing Stealth Knight. I appreciate it. Kachi42, yeah, I'm going to play you again because our last game was a blindfold game. So we need to see how we do against you with my eyes open, not closed. The bird is the word. The bird is the word. Hey, Falcon42, welcome to stream. I will always take it up on the gambits. I always get the pawns. I always take pawns. I always take pawns. And then we'll play e6. Because yeah, we want to stop any of the bishop moves. We'll stop pieces from coming into b5. Then yeah, we're gonna play queen c7, gain a tempo here. And I think just play d6, stopping this pawn from coming down, and so I can play knight f6. Hey, Islam go. I'll go. Oh, I said hey, my Google started flashing at me. I have a Google Mini up here in my, I say studio, but I don't think, I shouldn't say it's a studio. Would be cool if I had a studio. It would be pretty cool if we had said studio. So this move always kind of annoys me. It's a little bothersome. I'm not a fan. I would like to put that on record. I'm not a fan of bishop f4, especially when a rook can come here. And then the queen, so he can pile up on this pawn. I know I have e5, but that just let go of Islam go? Islam go, okay. Yeah, 300 viewers. Yeah, we were up to, I think I may have peaked around like 1,300 earlier when we were on the front page of Twitch. So there's that. All right, so rook here, he's got to move 2 pieces out of the way to hit my queen, but those could be tempo moves that he gets, that he moves those pieces out of the way. I was looking at an idea, a possibility of this, and then forking pieces, but I can't because of that doggone bishop. That bishop. Knight c6, but then I do run into him pinning it. Like he could just play like b4. Of course, I could just play b5. But then he does get some tempo moves and then attacks my queen. I don't know if you guys see all that. Probably not. So knight f7 mate. Danny is already gone. He had to go pick up. He had to go pick up his kids. He had to go boom 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 boom. He had to go to a kid's graduation. Dennis says, how did I pass 1,000? Honestly, I passed 1,000 by doing tactics. In fact, when I started playing tournament chess, like over the board, because that's where my strengths lie. I don't do well online, which is why I think I'm gonna start going away from playing online as much as I do to doing more like some of the chess.com lessons and doing tactics and different things that are a little more educational, not only so that I can continue to improve and work on my improvement in chess and my goal towards becoming an expert, but also I just don't play that well online, so I don't think I get I don't think I provide as much value to my viewers by me playing, because it's not as strong as my play as over the board. So I think that's going to be kind of my go-to thing. I said whoa because Islam Go was sending a bunch of stuff. Yeah, no worries, Islam Go. I know you probably weren't doing anything intentional, but yeah, because I was on the front page of front page of Twitch, I set my spam filters a little bit stronger than my normal streams, just to make sure nothing too crazy came through. So, but we'll reset those after the stream. So, oh yeah, that does attack my queen. And yeah, so he's gonna get this, and then he's gonna hit my pieces here. Probably what I should have done was end up. Oh no, I couldn't even do that. I was gonna say I should have just probably taken there, but I couldn't even do that. Now he has this move. Which is all bad things. Because then once he plays that move, I can't even take here because of here, here, and then here. And I think he's still up material quite a bit, yeah. Yeah, he's just going to be up so much material. Okay, we can at least attack this. Get my queen out of the pin. But yeah, I think I'm still not doing well. I'm a bit slow. Yes, you are correct. Oh, I should have taken back with the knight. What am I doing? What am I doing? But we do have this idea if he lets it. I don't think my opponent's going to let me do it. Oh, he does. I'm sure I'm probably missing something. My opponent also has like no time left. So we're going to see what happens. This is going to be interesting. Alright. And now what we're going to do is work on not hanging any material. Not getting forked by this knight. Knights are tricky little creatures. Come up here. Try and give ourselves some breathing room. But now I'm probably going to end up having to sack this rook for a pawn. But if I can get my king over that way, I might be able to get both pieces at least. But I doubt it. Ooh. Not good. Not good stuff. Keep the knight out. Of course, my opponent's playing on increment as well as I am. I mean, we're both doing the same thing at this point. Just playing on increment. Is he going to go there? I can just double attack his pieces though, so I don't think he would. Ah, one on time. Look at that. Booyah! Good game. Good game. I appreciate you playing. Thanks for the feedback on the stream. Definitely appreciate that. All right, guys. So I'm going to turn off challenges. I've got 2 more games here, and we'll finish those games up, and then we'll call it a stream. So if you guys haven't followed the stream, make sure you guys definitely click the follow button, and come around for new streams. I usually post my schedule here on Twitch in the panels below, or you can also follow me on Twitter. I am Chess Nerdbird everywhere on social media. So if you search anything, search anything Chess Nerdbird wise, you'll find me. So let's see, put the question to that bishop. So let's put the question to this bishop. Great, pin this knight. And let's play this move where we hit both these pieces. He's probably gonna be forced to drop this back. If I had to guess, that would be what he does. Yeah, Yeah. And he'll probably just retake that. No, he takes back with that. All right. So I'll go into this endgame with a bishop versus a knight. I'm not sure how I feel about that, to be honest with you. But we'll play our queen here, just stopping this knight from coming in on that square. We're going to play a4. Stopping knight a4. He's playing his rook, pinning our queen. Not pinning our queen, but pinning the pawn to our queen. So we are going, oh, I can't do that. So let's do this. And then I'll drop my queen back to e2. Or actually, probably e3. Alright, that knight is more of an asset to him than my bishop was an asset to me, I think. So I think that's okay to play that. I think that was okay. And I'm getting asked, why is my tactics trainer rating, quote unquote, so low? It's because I actually reset. You can reset your tactics trainer. And so that's what I did, is I simply reset the trainer. I think this move is okay. I think rook d2 is okay. I was thinking rook d3, but it's kind of, it gets a little limited. All right, let's just have master trades. I think I'm better in this endgame. I think. I have been wrong before. UNC07, how am I doing? I'm doing good if you're talking to me. If you're not talking to me, you know, maybe I am actually a little worse in this endgame. All right, let's just use as many tempo moves as we have. I don't think it's going to be enough though. Yeah, I don't think this is good. I haven't been studying my king and pawn endgame, so I don't think, but I can't see this being good for white, because my opponent can simply play here. Yeah, see, I used my last move. He still has some tempo moves. I either, well, yeah, I can just shuffle here, because after this, I can still bring my king back here, because this pawn's actually keeping his king out. And this pawn's keeping his king out here, so he cannot make any progress on this side of the board. So if he ever pushes, I need to take back this way. And I think this might just be a draw now. So I think I held on. My king can't make any entry over to this side of the board. So yeah, I think I just need to shuffle. It's time to shuffle. Come here. He offers a draw. I'll take it. All right, good game. And the king says, I think maybe once I came back here, yeah, you still can't make any entry. Yeah, you just can't make any entry paths. So good game. All right, so that was all of the challenges. And the king says, yeah, I think you were winning there. Actually, let's see here. Let's pull this back up. Let's just see what. Oh, oops. Is this gonna work? Oh, it's gonna cut the board off. Let's see here. I think there's a setting I can enable engine evaluation. And then we'll turn this off. There we go. All right. Yeah, so let's see here. Let's see, was the king and pawn in game? That's pretty equal. I mean, it's less than, yeah, it's like negative. It's a little bit on black side, but not much, is what Stockfish is saying. So, yeah, King F8, King F1, King E7. Yeah, it's King E2. So in the end game, you have to bring your king into the game. Yeah, I don't think there's a way to really bring the advantage unless I just make a mistake, which luckily I just did not. Oops, actually, let's see here. Yeah, unless I make a mistake, which luckily I did not, then yeah, this is just a drawn in game. Like if I had taken here, then obviously, yeah, that would not have been good. But so good games, everyone. Hope you had fun. Oh yeah, see if I misplayed something somewhere in the game. Yes, let's do that. Sorry, I'm sure I did. I had to. I'm pretty sure I did. So this is all opening theory. So knight f6, knight f3. Yeah, all this is fine. Bishop e2. Of course, it likes white a lot better, but I think that's mainly just because of the tempo. I don't think you're actually that much better. H3 is probably the move here. But castles is fine too, it looks like. Okay, anyway, castles. I'm just gonna click unless I see like a huge change in the evaluation. I won't really stop. Oh, 11 p.m. Okay, well, a good day, a good night. Bishop here, h3. So I did all this was actually correct. Yeah, bishop takes. I mean, that's the only move. c6. So far, we're doing good. Okay, nothing serious yet. Yeah, queen takes was fine. Yeah, c3. I guess I could have just left that undefended actually and just developed a piece, which is probably what I should have done. Because if you ever attack it, I can always play G or c3 if I need to. So yeah, I should probably just focus on bringing pieces into a game, but it's not a huge thing. I did consider a4 right away here, but yeah, I thought maybe you were trying to get in here in the c4. So a5. Right, rook here. So play rook f to d1. Still, we're fine. Computer says I didn't actually have to trade here. Yeah, c5, rook a d1. And take, yeah, and then this is just equal from here. So you're saying that you saw it said like a negative an advantage for black, like over 3 pawns. I didn't see that. I didn't see it pop up that evaluation unless I missed it. So, but yeah, so yeah, it looks like it was pretty equal unless I just missed a negative, like a huge advantage for black. But it all just looked normal. So. Oh, and the king and pawn ending? Alright, so if we go here. Oh, you're right. Yeah, I did see that too, but it didn't look like it looked like it quickly corrected itself. Yeah, because it was right around this pawn trade where I did quickly see it said a huge advantage for, oh, here it is. Yeah, see, it just quickly goes away though. It goes back to even. Yep. So yeah, just an even game all the way through. So not too bad for a blitz game between non-title players, I guess. So Well, awesome, guys. Well, thanks so much for hanging out. I hope you guys enjoyed having Danny on the stream. For those of you who caught that, if you didn't catch that, definitely check it out in the videos after. I'll probably definitely post this on my YouTube channel as well, which is on mychess.com. So good game. And the King says, appreciate the games. Appreciate you guys hanging out. If you haven't clicked the follow button, make sure you guys do click the follow button. Would definitely love to see more of you guys in the chat. To all my regular people, Liam Chez, thank you so much for hanging out. Electric Meows and the Wolf Fam, thank you guys so much for coming out. But yeah, so it is about time for my wife to get home and dinner time for family. So we take that very importantly in our family. So hope you guys have a good time and enjoy the rest of your day. I'm going to see if there's some other chess streamers on. I'm going to host someone if I see someone playing. It looks like yeah, so Mikey Slice is currently playing. He jumped into our stream, so I'm going to show him some love right back and host him for you guys. So again, hope you have a good rest of your day. Actually, let's raid Mikey Slice. If everyone can jump into a raid for Mikey Slice, I'm going to push that up. Make sure you guys jump into that raid. And again, thanks so much for hanging out. If you want to support the channel, you guys can do that through bits, subscribing, or donations. All of that is appreciated, not expected, but definitely appreciated, and it will help me do more and longer streams because, well, I don't have that much time. I need to. I'm focusing on things that drive in money, but I will definitely be super excited to do more streams with you guys in the future. So. Thanks again, guys, for hanging out, and we will be raiding Mikey, so don't go anywhere. Wait for that raid button, and I will see you guys on the next Chess Nerd Break stream.